some advice for you, which you do not need to accept, because many of the Women's Institute, feminist, idiotic, Freemasonic, you name it, these women from the Eastern Star and everywhere else, the ones that protect child abusers. Well, number one question, name 2 females on the BBC that protect paedophiles. I know you could name 1,000. 2 very famous ones. Besides that, some oils that you should have: castor oil. You should have castor oil. Linseed oil. Wow, what's going on here? Let's pause. It's a police incident. Ha ha ha, we're not going to tell you about it. But she was a kind female police officer, again, overweight, out of shape. But hey, if we're going to have 5-foot female police officers, they may as well be out of shape. They may as well be overweight. But this, I mean, we've ruined everything. Look at politics. There's not one sensible man with a mind in politics these days. We know it's puppets. We know that they're puppets. We know this Keir Starmer sir. How did you manage to become a sir? Well, I protect paedophiles. We know that. We know that these people are protecting paedophiles. That is the women's main job. But yes, men do it too. They get awarded prime ministers, positions of power. Fence turtles. That's what they are. Look at what a fence turtle is, or a post turtle. We've ruined everything. So why would you need linseed oil? Why would you need castor oil? Why would you need coconut oil? And why would you avoid sunflower oil? Just learn those things. Learn those things and you might come up with some answers. Now, I did mention that castor oil can break down things like bone spurs and knocks and lesions that shouldn't be there underneath your skin that have a lump. Even things like cataracts in your eye, you can actually wipe like this, castor oil, even directly on the eye. And it gets rid of those lesions. It will get rid of the bunions in your feet. It will get rid of anything, you name it, any lesion or bone spur that you have. Linseed oil mixed with cottage cheese, shh, you'll be pricked up. You have a better industry to help people with cancer than the full cancer industry. This was proven in 1966 and we still kill people for the billion-dollar profit industry, not for health. Killing people is a great job in the UK, helping them. We'd be helping people if we told them how to protect themselves using these very basic, innovative techniques that can help. But people who will turn around and say, no, let's agree to disagree that works. What do you mean, let's agree to disagree?
Sure, why don't you understand this? And people say, well, if it were important, people would have repeated it. I said, it's been repeated dozens and dozens of times. You just choose not to acknowledge it. What are you going to do? It's amazing. And then when they realize, it's only a matter of time, they're going to realize what I'm saying. And they're going to look at the data. Oh, yeah, it was obvious all along. Oh, yeah, right. Well, I'm telling you, it wasn't obvious all along. Why don't you read the list?
What do you mean? Do you normally say, get into your doctor, and maybe your doctor's he's been in the practice for 10 years and 7 years training. Oh no, let's agree to disagree what you're saying. That's a better idea to do that with him than someone that's done it off their own back because they don't want to see the suffering. And this information is available, but bit by bit it's been taken away. All the details about Johanna Budvig and the Budvig protocol, her winning the 7 court cases, that has all been taken away. That's been taken out. As you search with AI, it won't find those court cases, although she won the court cases. And luckily, people like myself and other doctors that don't kill patients, they help people with cancer. Well, we can give the information, but we get hounded and abused, like me.
Flaxseed oil has the ability to react with sulfur-rich proteins in fermented milk products, like cottage cheese and quark. It makes a very thin fluid which can carry oxygen to the smallest recesses of the body. It can take oxygen right into a tumour. The body's amazing disease-fighting apparatus, the immune system, can only work in oxygen-rich conditions. The immune system can't work in the acidic, oxygen-starved conditions within a tumour. But Dr. Budvig's oxygen-carrying miracle fluid takes oxygen right into the tumour. The immune system can then get to work to destroy the cancer cells. This is one of the reasons Dr. Budvig was nominated for a Nobel Prize 7 times. But instead of leading to a Nobel Prize, it got Dr. Budvig in trouble with the next giant powerhouse, Big Pharma. Even though its cancer medications are very expensive and make billions in profits, they're not very effective and usually only postpone death, often by just a few weeks or months. The medicines are so profitable that medical practitioners get large kickbacks for prescribing them. As Rahima Ellis reported in NBC News, it is a unique situation in medicine. Unlike other kinds of doctors, cancer doctors are allowed to profit from the sale of chemotherapy drugs. Sadly, there are physicians cashing in on this. There have even been cases where patients have been told they have cancer just so the doctor could get his kickbacks, even though the patient did not have cancer. Lisa Rappaport, a Reuters health reporter, wrote, "Cancer drug choices are tied to drug manufacturers' payouts to doctors." A paper in The Oncologist confirmed physicians' payments from pharmaceutical companies related to cancer drugs. And the stat reporter, Vinay Prasad, pointed to the cancer growing in cancer medicine, pharma money paid to doctors. I believe that a major contributor to this situation is the success of Dr. Budvig's cancer treatment and the failure of all efforts to get her branded as a quack and her procedures to be outlawed. Dr. Budvig established a care centre where cancer patients who had been given up as incurable and sent home to die could go for help. She dosed them with her flax oil and cottage cheese blend. She gave them an unrefined, organic, whole food diet, and she took them outside in the fresh air and sunshine whenever the weather permitted. More than 90% of her terminal patients went home cancer-free. Not surprisingly, many attempts were made to stifle this information and close down her care centre. But Johanna Budvig was recognised as Germany's leading expert on nutritional oils, and the lawyers couldn't get anyone with anything close to her expertise to prove her wrong. They failed repeatedly. In Freudenstadt, where she practised, her success was so well known that the lawyers complained that the courts were biased in her favour. They had no success in Rottweil, where she was again acquitted. So they demanded a trial for her alleged medical malpractice in the main court of assizes in Stuttgart. They still failed. So they took their vitriol to the newspapers. But she was able to respond, and even more people came to realise that her methods
I'm not an idiot, but I've got no PhD, THD, no degree, no standard grades. Does that mean that I am unaware, having studied for about 12 years plus these subjects? Because everything I'm studying it's been taken away. We all used to know, but now we don't know. Cannabis was the very opposite. Everyone thought it was a drug. Now it's like, no, it's okay. It's like, that's fine for cancer. We can use that because the NHS have found a way to profit from selling cannabis. So we can use, but you can't sell it. We can, because it helps if we sell it, but not if other people sell it. Madness in the UK. I'm done with it. We kill people for no reason. I'm done with it. The main reason I go on here and do this stupid talk to myself. Well, I've got no friends. I've got a terrible attitude to life ever since my children were abducted, abused, manipulated, harassed by a woman who gave birth to them, and she only cares for herself. Self-centered lowlife who will lie and abuse anyone. Take care. Speak to you soon.